Everybody, welcome back to the show on this wonderful Thursday afternoon slash evening, depending on where you are. A lot to cover
Hey guys.
today. Not as exciting as it's been in the past for as far as breaking news, but there is a lot happening right now. And there's some really interesting things we're going to cover today, including the shutdown of Cern. We have Lou Elizondo talking about monoliths on the moon, which is going to lead us into an interesting conversation about that and a number of other things. What's happening currently with UFO alien disclosure, and also a music video by a band called Heavy Pulp, who released the first ever AI music video slash song ode to I forgot the name of the song off the top of my head. Either way, it has a lot of cue comms in it, a lot of interesting nudges towards portal travel and the Great Awakening, quantum, a number of things we'll get into. Elon Musk shared it 3 times in one day, which created a huge buzz around it as if he's trying to tell people, watch this video. It's trying to tell you something. So I have the video queued up. We might play it. It's like 4 minutes long. We'll see once we get there. We might just play it and then evaluate it afterwards. Either way, that's on the list of things to talk about today, and a couple other interesting things. Yes, Dr. Salad did just cover this as well. So obviously, I think any of the main influencers right now are covering similar topics. Everybody has their own take on what's happening. So we're just kind of providing you the updates in the news and giving you our perspective on what we believe is occurring. How's it going over there today, Aaron?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing great, actually. Excited to get into this. I don't
Yeah,
have as many slides as we typically do, but it's fine. It doesn't have to go forever. I'm gonna get this queued up and share the screen so we can just dive in.
right on.
Also, we have a few announcements I guess we can make. We are getting ready to leave for Mount Shasta here in a couple weeks, actually next week. And we're going to be speaking at a conference, the Calling and Angelic Reunion. I have just recently been added to the lineup. Aaron is speaking on Friday. I'm speaking on Monday, I believe. And then Tuesday, the 21st, we're going to be premiering our Secret Space Program documentary in the Mount Shasta Community Center. That's a separate ticket. It's only $10. If you guys are in the Shasta area or you'd like to come and make a last minute trip to Mount Shasta, we would love to see you there. AwakeWithinTheDreamProductions.com is where you can find that information, and that link is below in the description. So we look forward to seeing you there. And let me share
Yes.
my screen and let's do this. Share sound. Okay, here we go. Make sure I shared the right one. You can see that?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. CERN shut down monoliths on the moon. It's funny how AI, like everyone was fighting it. Now here we are all using it to make thumbnails and everything. It does help in that regard. And I hate to admit it, but
Yeah.
I've noticed a number of people using it now, and it does take a workload off. Is instead of going into Canva or Photoshop and manually creating something, you give it a prompt and boom. So interesting. There is ways to utilize it without worshiping it. And
Uh, Or
yeah,
abusing it or
right.
using it in an unhealthy way. It's a great tool if you use it in the right way. It can be very bad if you don't. Kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, but we won't spend too much time on that. We're going to get into the meat of the topic today. So, this is, well, I'm just going to read through this I'm sorry, this X post on what is actually happening with CERN. So, they shut it down. I think the official shutdown date was July. Man, it's in here
Oh, I
somewhere.
don't.
You sh
I have it somewhere. June 29th. That's when it was.
Yes.
June 29th. So CERN's next machine is so powerful it could tear open reality itself, and it's terrifying. You should not be celebrating CERN's shutdown. Now we're going to talk about this because I think there's a whole positive side to this as well. It really just depends on which lens you're viewing this from through. Because according to some researchers, theorists, and internet sleuths, the real story isn't that CERN is going offline. It's what they're building next. And that is true. They are building something much bigger. And we're going to get into that in the next slide. The Large Hadron Collider is being upgraded into an even more powerful machine expected to come online around 2030. Officially, it's about particle physics, but people have spent years pointing to CERN's fascination with extra dimensions, hidden forces, and unanswered questions about the structure of reality itself. Then there's the symbolism. The Shiva statue outside CERN, the references to creation and destruction, the discussions about dimensions beyond the ones we can see. And the persistent theories that the collider isn't just studying reality, it's testing its limits. Some say humanity is pushing into territory it definitely doesn't fully understand. Either way, the next machine will be bigger, more powerful, and capable of experiments never performed before. At what point does scientific curiosity become playing God? And everybody's known about CERN potentially opening portals or anybody in the conspiracy theory realm understands that this is what they're doing because they've had a whistleblower employee come out and directly say that. And we understand how everything's a ritual and they worship these deities, and the Shiva statue out front is no coincidence either. So there is some black magic involved, and they are manipulating timelines, opening portals, altering reality. I do believe all of that was on the table. I do believe that the particle accelerator, um, hadron collider cover story, or the mainstream narrative is just that.
Even down to the exact location that it's at is an ancient like a cult location, place of ritual as well. Even the name CERN lines up with that as well. Like every detail of it lines up with occult and in a dark way, and
Right.
ritualistic things. And it's when you start diving into CERN, the more and more you start seeing like, whoa, there's something way deeper and darker going on here than what they're telling you.
Absolutely. And uh, so this video is from this account, Hustle Bitch. Um,
Horrible name, but
I know every time it's hard. Like he covers stuff so like he does really great coverage on stuff, but the name just doesn't match what he's doing. So
right.
anyway, here's a video. I'm gonna actually let this play through because it does break this down very succinctly and helps give a better understanding of what is happening here with CERN, and then we'll discuss it after.
You should not be happy about CERN's shutdown. That's what experts are saying now. They believe CERN is building its ultimate machine to open the coveted portal to another dimension.
This is the collider, okay? I don't understand why they're spending $200 on this stupid thing. This is the current collider, LXC, in Switzerland, and now they're going to build a bigger one. And you see how big it is, right? What are they trying to do here? Are they really trying to figure out particle physics? Maybe, maybe not. All right? All right, guys. Jacob Frank. What Jacob Frank tells us is there are different dimensions. Okay? And another dimension is Big Brother, who's a friend of his, but he's stuck in his dimension. He's trying to come to our dimension, but he needs our help. So what's CERN particle accelerator trying to do, right? Is it really trying to discover particle physics, or is it really trying to break the dimensions, like they did with the nuclear bomb?
We've heard a lot about CERN opening portals. People believe that's why timelines have been strange ever since they fired up the LHC. But you're not going to believe how freaky their goals really are.
They're searching for, at CERN, for example, is how do you go into other dimensions and create these portals? Because that's an ancient technology that we're still trying to unlock today. And what are they looking for? Well, one of the things they're looking for is the Atman particle, or Atma, A-T-M-A or A-T-M-A-N. It comes out of the Vedas and the Upanishads, where most of the scientists are told to go to get their theological understanding of quantum mechanics. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it properly.
What's scary is that everything you just heard comes directly from CERN. They really are looking for the soul of the universe. That's what the word Atma means in Hindu mythology. And the statue statue outside Cern also has a much deeper meaning than you think. Apparently, it's performing a dance called Nataraj, and here's what it represents. The statue also represents a cycle of creation and destruction, and some people think Cern is trying to bring the second step in that cycle. They got a taste of what they were looking for when they found the Higgs boson in 2012, and we all know how that discovery changed our reality. Now they want to grab the very soul of the universe from another dimension. They plan to start in 2030 with their brand new machine. It means we don't have much time. And here's the scariest part. We can't even stop them even if we wanted to.
When Cern was fired up, we tried to shut it down. There was lawsuits that filed here in America to shut Cern down. But to no avail, they couldn't because we're not in it and we have no jurisdiction.
So why did they try to shut it down?
Because they were saying that it could mess with the fabric of reality.
All excellent breakdown. I agree with all that. And here is an image of how small the original Cern is. If you look at the ring there, the small one, that's the original one, and the big blue one is what they plan on expanding to. Absolutely massive. One of the theories I've seen going around, excuse me, online is that the whole shutdown of Cern was a white hat operation, and Cern was being left on to stabilize an old timeline, which wasn't our organic timeline. And somehow or another, we finally got the upper hand in this situation, and we gained some leverage and we're able to have it shut down. Maybe only temporarily, who knows? It might be in different hands. It might be changing ownership by the time it gets powered back up in 2030. Nevertheless, the theory is that it was stabilizing the old system, the old paradigm, the old timeline. And now that it's shut down, it's essentially it's created some chaos because we're shifting back into an organic reality. And me personally, ever since CERN shut down, my dreams I've been remembering them more. They've been fuller, more vivid, more lucid. Prior to that, it seems like I was going through this phase where really nothing was coming through. And I don't know if it's directly related to CERN, but the timing was directly related with the shutdown of CERN. So if it really was shut down and it was somehow altering our reality, even the astral realm and other dimensions, it could potentially have been affecting the dream world. So I think in my eyes, the fact that I'm able to remember and experience my dreams like I used to be able to is a good sign. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Aaron?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, I think at the very least they've been trying and probably successfully opening portals and letting who knows what entities through. And whatever, they clearly have some major agenda going on, or agendas going on with CERN that they're adamant to, they would not spend this much money and go to these lengths to just find the particle and do this.
Try to
It's
recreate the Big Bang. Yeah.
right. It's like, no. That's clearly the cover story because they have to have some story of why they're doing all this. And, obviously they'll just be like, oh, it's for science, whatever.
Well, if they
No.
are trying to recreate the Big Bang, it is essentially birthing a new universe and opening another dimension anyway.
Right. But as far as the times, I don't know. Like it makes sense. I'll just say that it definitely makes sense, and I definitely think there are higher, let's just umbrella term it, higher forces,
Right.
that aren't going to allow them to do what they want to do with CERN. So I'm not in this place, but worried in this shutdown, I think kind of proves that. Like, and
Yeah.
there's been many things in the past where they're like, oh, there was a malfunction or there was something happened that messed it up. That I'm like, okay, to me that's these benevolent forces that are intentionally blocking them from doing what they really want to do with
Right.
CERN. And this is just the latest one.
Yeah. And here is a post from X Spirit on X, and I actually have a AI voice that's going to read this for us, so we don't have to read it. But it's actually a really interesting breakdown on how they're manipulating the timelines and the Mandela effects, and it's a great breakdown. So I'm just going to hit play and let this read through it, and then we can discuss it.
They shut down the collider, but it's already too late. How CERN tore the fabric of time. On June 29, 2026, the Large Hadron Collider at CERN fell silent. Not for a week, for 4 years. Officially, a major upgrade to the Halloumi LHC, 10 times more powerful. But online, thousands of people are saying the same thing. Time has slowed down. The days have become longer. Reality feels smoother, but something is still wrong. What if these are not just feelings? What if, for the last 18 years, we have already been living in an altered timeline, and shutting down the machine has only lifted the veil? The 27-kilometer tunnel beneath Geneva is the most powerful machine ever created by humanity. Since 2008, protons have been accelerated there to nearly the speed of light and collided with energies not seen since the Big Bang. In 2012, the Higgs boson was discovered. The world applauded. And then the strange things began. It was precisely after the collider reached full power that the Mandela effect exploded across the internet. Thousands of people simultaneously remembered a different past. Berenstain Bears instead of Berenstein, Magic Mirror instead of Mirror Mirror, different logos, movie quotes, even the death of Nelson Mandela in the 1980s. A coincidence? Or the first cracks in the fabric of reality? Conspiracy theorists call the LHC not a particle accelerator, but a machine for manipulating time and space. They claim that collisions create miniature black holes, tiny ones but capable of swallowing a piece of our reality or opening a portal. Officially, they evaporate instantly, but what if sometimes they have enough time to do their job? An even more striking theory came in 2011 from Vanderbilt physicists Thomas Weiler and Cui Man Ho. They suggested that when the collider operates, it may produce not only ordinary Higgs bosons, but also Higgs singlets, particles capable of slipping into the fifth dimension. There, they travel forward and backward through time before returning to our reality. Without paradoxes, just a quiet edit of the past. If this works even partially, then every activation of the collider could have. People on forums and social media describe the same thing. After the 2015 to 2016 runs, everything around them felt different. Deja vu, strange dreams, the feeling that the world had shifted onto another script. And after the shutdown in 2026, many suddenly felt relief. Time seemed to flow more slowly, as if an invisible pressure had been lifted. Now the machine sleeps until 2030. Some people are happy. At last, they've stopped playing. Others are afraid. This is the calm before another, even more powerful shift. Because when the Halloumi LHC is switched on again, there will be far more collisions. What will it do to our reality then? We may never know the truth. Because in the new timeline, the truth is already different. Watch the little details around you carefully. Check your memories. If tomorrow something suddenly feels wrong, it may not be you. It may be another edit to the code of our universe. They played with time, and it seems they won.
Getting into Sand of Time like material here.
Right.
I love that this is where the conversation is going. I absolutely love it. I'm fascinated. People are finally understanding, they're questioning, and this only leads you further down the rabbit hole in quantum mechanics, time travel, time dilation. I mean, everything that they're doing, portal technology, communicating, quantum teleportation, communicating with other dimensions, you name it. It's an endless discussion, and it is the future. And that's why I think the White House went so heavy on the quantum era stuff that we're being ushered into right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, moving on to the monoliths on the moon. So this is something that I found very interesting. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, yeah, we know this, old news. But then everybody's grabbing onto it and reporting on it as if this is a really big deal. And I guess I had to go back and view it through a new lens of the average viewer who doesn't really know about this. I'm like, what that means is if Lou Elizondo and others are saying that they've seen photographs of a monolith on the moon, that means to the public, somebody's already been there. Publicly, the United States has not built anything on the moon. So this does open a conversation for extraterrestrial bases on the moon, and there's no way that's not intentional. They want this narrative out there, and they're building a story here, is what I see. So here's a quick little video of Lou Elizondo explaining this.
There's also photographs that I don't believe have been made public yet that show on the lunar surface what appear to be large monolithic structures with right angle cuts that appear to be on the lunar surface. And I believe those photographs, if they have not been released yet, may be released soon. but they are certainly very intriguing looking at these objects from space.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. I mean, that's a big statement, really, if you think about it through the lens of the average person. And this is the monolith here on the right is actually publicly available photo on Wikipedia. It was taken with the Phobos satellite. And I'll just read quickly what it says about that. The Phobos monolith is a large rock on the surface of Mars's moon. Oh, this is the one on Mars. I'm sorry. Okay, on Mars's moon. It is a boulder about 85 meters, 279 feet across, and 300 feet tall. A monolith is a geological feature consisting of a single massive piece of rock. Monoliths also occur naturally on Earth, but it has been suggested that the Phobos monolith may be a piece of ejecta or of impact ejecta. I don't know, I doubt that. The monolith is a bright object near the Stickney crater, described as a building-sized boulder which cast a prominent shadow. So actually, I when I put this in here, I didn't even I for some
So
reason I thought this was our moon, but this is the
no.
moon of Mars. Yes,
So that's the Phobos one is the one that Buzz Aldrin mentioned on live TV years ago.
I have the
There
clip
you
right
have it right
here.
there. There it is.
Yeah,
And he said there's a moon of Mars that has a monolith, and people are going to ask who put that there or whatever.
right.
But it's interesting that now they're talking about monoliths on our moon as well.
Correct. Correct.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll play this clip, and I want you to notice. So somebody off camera is trying to shut Buzz
Yep.
Aldrin down when he starts
Totally.
talking about it. You can tell because he starts looking over, and the whole energy shifts.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, there's been a number of interviews with Buzz and comments he's made over the years. In my opinion, it looks like he is unfortunately very heavily mind controlled or has undergone some major MK Ultra uh, techniques, and
Yeah.
because
I'm
it
sure.
seemed he's had his brain scrambled, and if you listen to some of his talks, it's very clear he's confused, and I think that's by design because he might have known something. I believe he did know something that they did not want him sharing. So we'll play this.
Habitation on the moon. We can visit other people with their habitation. We can keep track. If there's something very important to be developed from the moon, I'm not sure what it is right now. And I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there. Maybe.
Yeah, they interject. So, and here's another picture of it. And there's actually two. Allegedly, there's two different monoliths on the surface of this moon. And this is just another close-up image of it here. So, I mean, with the shadow that it casts, the likelihood of that just being a random rock shooting straight out of the ground,
Right.
and
Right
just
angles. I mean, come on.
right.
Right.
And okay, what is the purpose of a monolith in the first place? And I was looking up some videos and stuff online. A lot of people think it could be interdimensional communication, navigation, planetary stabilization, kind of like the exact same thing that they claim the pyramids are doing. So it could be acting as some sort of a technology. And I do believe that's the case. I think it is a technological structure. In fact, I think a lot of the ancient structures were part of a bigger technological grid. I don't think they were insignificant at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Obelisks are not just there for decoration. That's a part of the technology. And
Right.
that's why they show up on moons and other planets, and pyramids
And
show up on moons and other planets as well. And again, a technology, ancient technology. There's
right.
pyramids on Mars as well. There's pyramids on the moon as well. There's shattered glass domes on the moon. There's all kinds of stuff that there's actual NASA photos of that, like Richard C. Hoagland and many others have actually done work on gathering, luckily. But they will never admit that publicly.
Right.
But now it's interesting that they're starting to say these things and disclose. It's almost like they have to now, or they're getting ahead of something. It's very interesting. While they're now like telling us
Right.
publicly these things that they would deny before.
Right. And let's not forget about the Utah monolith. And there were other ones that popped up around the world. And these are very anomalous. And I went on
Yeah.
Wikipedia just to see what Wikipedia said today. And it says, as of 2026, the the function or the purpose for these monoliths is yet to be discovered, still unknown. So it's a mystery still, according to the mainstream. Who put these there? I would imagine that this is just part of an experiment from the private sector. They needed to do this for some sort of technology that they were experimenting with. And what's interesting, the Sands of Time material talks about Kings Peak, Utah being the new Area 51. Basically, they relocated over there once Area 51 got all the attention. And these monoliths are showing up in Utah. And also, if you read the Sands of Time material, they talk about when they're developing this jump room technology, time travel technology, it had to be triangulated. So they had three bases. They had one in Utah, they had one in, I believe, Area 51, and the other one was up in Seattle, all underground. But they had to have three locations triangulated to be able to even create this jump room. And that's, if you watch any Hollywood movie, they always depict a triangulation being an unnecessary component for opening a portal. So I think they maybe potentially have been experimenting with more portal technology, time travel technology. Just my opinion on these monoliths that nobody can explain. I do believe they are potentially reverse engineered and potentially dealing with time travel. And here we are. This is the music video. Do you think we should play this, Aaron? It's like 4 minutes long, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think we should. Real quick, somebody made an interesting comment. Head Flood 25 said, I think these monoliths popping up across the earth are military majority installing covert hush hush Nikola Tesla free energy. Goes along with all the blue and purple lightning reports. It's definitely coming with just our. So yeah, it could be they could be free energy devices being installed
Right.
for various reasons. That's very possible.
Yeah, and Tony Rodriguez, somebody said Tony has done heaps of research on the monoliths. He has actually. He's
He
done
has, yeah.
he has an incredible presentation on his findings, and it goes deep. I mean, he really like they're restructuring the water even with the technology of these like it's crazy what they're actually doing with it. And yeah, I would recommend going to his channel. Also, this is a slide I didn't put in here, but I noticed Ceres is back in the news again. The Planet Ceres,
Really?
how, yeah, they're talking about it's gaining more attention,
That's great.
saying that potentially there could be or could have been alien life, and it may be closer to Earth than we think. And like, so for some reason, they're deciding to focus on Ceres being a potential place to house extraterrestrial life. And
It's already there, too late.
I know, but what have they seen? What do they know? Why are they
Why are
choosing
they
that?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very interesting.
Yeah, so that's back in the headlines again. And very interestingly enough, So, all right, we're gonna jump into this music video. This is a band called Heavy Pulp. I've never heard of them. It's allegedly the very first ever fully AI music video, and it is loaded with comms. We're gonna let it play. Keep your ears and eyes open. Pay close attention to every little detail, and then we'll break it down when it's done.
Sweet land, sweet land of the weary and the wild. Oh, where are you, my sweet child? if you can hear this from the other side, across this great quantum divide. Don't get me wrong, now is the time to stay strong. So, with all of that I'll say, God bless the USA! God bless the USA! Sing it, sweet land, going on, 250 years and it's going on and on the edge of a forever or the edge of being gone. Is it midnight? Is it morning? Is it ruining? Is it time to rise? 250 summers gone by. So just go on and tell me those sweet lies, the kind as sweet as these July. Going on and going gone. Light up, light, light, higher. Sweet land's going on, going on. Sweet land, going, going, gone. So please, just know that we can still rebuild. We can still make something better.
So they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. That music video is worth millions. I mean, there is
Right.
so much. There is so much there, including the infamous red folder, which this photo on the left is from a video of Don Jr. on January 6th. They're in a tent, and Trump's getting ready to go out and address the crowd. And there's this red folder, and there's a million theories around it in the Q community. But then has been all but basically forgotten since January 6th back then. And now here we are in 2026, and they show not only Trump, but a lot of the major presidents holding this red folder, but Trump going through the Stargate with this red folder. And they're talking about timelines and a number of things. And Elon shared this video 3 times yesterday and just brought all of the world's attention towards it. And he shared this with it as well. Or I don't know, actually, this is an older June. This is from June
2022,
2022. Yeah. So
4
he,
years ago.
yeah. So he said, this is where the writers are of past, present, and future. So interesting. I don't know why somebody put this comment or this photo with that tweet. Nevertheless, it is interesting. There's some more comms there. But let's break down the video. So I like how it highlighted, it's the 250th anniversary of America, and it really showed the golden era, which I think was like the 60s, 70s, 80s, like the early 90s, that peak humanity era where, things were a lot better, and at least in some capacity, before the advent of the internet and technology and cell phones, whenever it was more of a pure way of life, right? And they really highlighted and emphasized that as if like this is what we could go back to in this new golden age, at least in some capacity. But they had a cloud in the shape of Trump, which was interesting. Where we go one, we go all, a lot of Q comms. There was literally portals throughout the whole video. There's a UFO. They literally, in one case, they showed a UFO in a hangar being what looked like it reverse engineered. They talk about the timeline coming undone. I have the lyrics pulled up in the next slide, but Aaron, did you want to chime in on that before we move on?
No, you said it. It's just so many very interesting, telling things in that video. And the fact that Elon shared it 3 times in one day is very telling as well. He doesn't do that for no reason.
Right.
Even him sharing it once would be, but he shared it 3 times in a day. That means he's, like you said, he's trying to really, really drive it home that this is important, what's in this video.
And it is. It's I've never seen so much that nods towards everything that we cover. Like this,
Right.
the Great Awakening, the Golden Age, free energy. They literally say free energy.
Free
Like they
energy.
talk about free energy in it. In fact, oh, and then this part too. So this screen behind her, 4559, July 1st, 2020, is a exact Q post, and I went and verified this myself. I went to Q alerts, typed in 4559, and it's a Q drop from July 1st, 2020. Zero coincidences. Not only that, but it's as if she's standing in front of this Q board, and then there's a Stargate, a portal behind her. They're telling you this is a quantum temporal time travel mission, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the Q drop that it points to is this, and I'll read through some of it, maybe not all of it. There was a time when our children stood at attention and with pride put their hand on their heart and in one united voice recited the Pledge of Allegiance. There was a time when strength and honor meant something. There was a time when standing for our flag meant something. There was a time when our history heritage was taught with pride and respect. There was a time when respect was given to those who served, bled, and died to protect and defend our freedom. There was a time when we were grateful. There was a time when our accomplishments meant something. There was a time when these United States of America, one nation under God, was united. There was a time when these United States of America, one nation under God, was united under the American flag, a flag that was carried in battle by brave patriots as a symbol of freedom and justice for all, no matter what race, religion, or background. A beacon of hope when flown, a mark of respect to their memory to those who willfully sacrificed their lives to defend. There was a time when we the people decided our future. There was a time when we the people had a voice. There was a time when we the people were united and strong. There was a time when the media was free from political bias and corruption. And the corruption is in kill brackets, which means they are taking out the corruption.
Yep.
There was a time when our elected leaders stood their ground, dug in, and defended those they represented. How many men and women in uniform are currently serving on the front lines abroad only to look back in horror to see the homeland on fire? What does the word patriot mean to you? Land of the free, home of the brave. Now is not the time to be complacent. Will you answer the call? Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. Reagan, Q. So I suppose this was a Ronald Reagan speech, actually. Which,
Yeah. No, just that part at the end, just that very last
oh, I
paragraph.
see, the quote at the
It's
end.
in quotes. The rest was not. Yeah.
And it's interesting, a few people say that Reagan was allegedly the last true president we had before the deep state officially took over. And I don't know
I
if
mean,
that's
that's
true.
obvious to me
Yeah.
because then you have Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and not until, Trump again.
Oh, somebody just asked a great question. What's the name of the song? And I meant to put that in there. Let me see. Heavy Pulp. Let me look this up. It's like the Ode to the America or Freedom or Ode to Freedom or something, 250. Sweet Land, an Ode to America's 250th year, 250th year. That's the name of the song. Sweet Land, an Ode to America's 250th year by Heavy Pulp.
It's funny because there's already a band called Pulp, and this is Heavy Pulp.
Right. Okay, so here are the lyrics. I'll read through some of them because it's very interesting. So this is from Jordan Crowder. We're actually getting ready to have him on the show next week. Excellent researcher. Excellent researcher. He has an amazing YouTube channel. Go check it out, Jordan Crowder.
He's awesome. Yeah, go check him out.
And he transcribed the lyrics, and this is what they say: sweet land of the weary and wild. Oh, where are you, my sweet? The gardens either dying or about to come alive. So let's look into this. The garden's either dying or about to come alive. That's where we're at. The river's either dying or it's deep enough to dive. Can't tell if it's the dusk or if it's breaking into dawn. Are we going on? Are we going gone? Somebody said a storm is coming, but it's been a long, long time. And I think that's the point where they showed Trump in the storm clouds. I don't know what's up ahead, but please, baby, don't you look behind. So tell me, is it going to be free energy forever or just the same damn old grind? So they're like calling for free energy here.
Yep.
Are we 1 year away from the grave, or is this just the beginning, my sweet child? Oh, you're my star-spangled fever dream, half a savior, half a liar. The summers where we're going higher, higher, higher. And then I'm going to skip. The kids are either screaming or they're laughing in the sun. Is the timeline coming undone or is it coming in clear? That's really interesting. Is the timeline coming undone or is it coming in clear? And this is also the timing of this release is timed with the shutdown of Cern as well. And as I look at the time, it's 4:44 exactly when I read that. So the fireworks are blinding, but I'll keep on dancing here, and nobody can promise me that we're going to make it to the light. So is this an awakening or is this a knife in the night? I'm not going to read through the rest of it, but just some very interesting things that were said there. Like I said, watch the video a couple times. You'll find something new nearly every time. It's loaded with stuff. And they want our attention on it for a reason.
Right.
And yeah, oh, and then Beth Noyes says, I'm behind. Did we discuss them grabbing Obama arrested while holding the red folder? He abused the secret tech. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I did want to mention that. So it showed a lot of major presidents, including Kennedy, and there was a lot of emphasis on Kennedy here. But it showed them standing in front of the Stargate with this red folder. But when it got to Obama, it showed him being carried away as if he was being arrested. And I guess that would be a nod to him abusing his power and the secret technology that he had access to. And I think we might actually see some sort of public justification surrounding that if anything we hear is true. So that would be nice to make it some sort of headway with this arrest scenario, right? Something. Let's give us something here. But thank you for bringing that up. And this is in the works. This could happen at any moment or it may not happen at all. Dr. Michael Salas shared this. President Trump is on the verge of a major UFO disclosure speech confirming crash retrieval operations and non-human intelligence, according to Mark Lee's White House sources, corroborates what Anna Paulina Luna has also recently stated. Aaron, you want to read this on the right? This is from Mark Christopher Lee talking about what he believes Trump could potentially release, but it's already came and passed July 8th. It's still relevant, though.
Sure thing. Big development today. The Daily Mail is running a major piece based on information from my Washington insider sources. According to multiple sources close to the inner circle, President Trump has a UFO disclosure speech written and ready. It will confirm non-human craft and beings, reference forensic evidence from crashes, including Roswell, and announce declassification steps plus international cooperation. My sources say this soft disclosure could be imminent, with strong talk around July 8th, which is the Roswell anniversary, and the NATO summit. As the filmmaker behind the film, July 8th, the day everything changes, I've been tracking this directly through conversations in Washington for months. This isn't speculation, it's what my sources have told me. Is today the day everything changes? Full story here. What do you think? Ready for disclosure?
So a number of people are sharing this around and waiting for some sort of potential speech from Trump. It's also possible that nothing happens, and the White House has not confirmed this. So we'll see. It could be a nothing burger, or we might get some sort of announcement. That would be great. And Aaron, you shared this with me earlier. So
Yeah.
this is really interesting. I'll read through this and then we can play this video. He kind of breaks it down. It's like 4 minutes long, but it is very interesting. So Holden Colada on X shares this. So he's reporting on Eric Burleson being on the Jesse Michaels podcast. And he said, whoa, Tulsi Gabbard apparently sent a team to investigate UFO reports at a military base. And when they arrived, they personally encountered glowing orbs that looked like balls of plasma. They told Representative Eric Burleson that it completely changed everything for them. They said, now we know there is something there. They told me about the event that happened in the Western United States. People from Tulsi's team were actually on site for this. It was at one of our U.S. military installations. There were senior intelligence officials there. They actually personally encountered these UAP. I can't say which specific location. They were there because there had been previous reports. They were going around looking at any kind of debris in the desert. They had landed a helicopter and they got a call that the radar had picked up several UAPs. So they jump in the helicopter, they go to the location, and what they interact with are basically glowing orbs. Those orbs are like 3 meters in diameter. They have different shades of color that they glow in. They are some type of spherical nebulous, what's described as like a ball of plasma. I don't think anybody has ever touched one to know that it's like superheated material or anything, but it's definitely messing with the helicopter. So let's see what he has to say here.
I would say the most remarkable thing that happened was you had this transition with, and I think Tulsi did a great job setting up what was called the DIG, the Directors Initiative Group. And she had these teams that are investigating several things, one of them being UAPs. And I think that was probably one of the lower priorities of the group, but they were doing that research and they really didn't dedicate a lot of resources to it. They had one guy basically. And I think he got discouraged pretty quickly. Or not quickly. He really threw himself into it for a few years and then got discouraged. And then, as he was transitioning out, they had brought me in and briefed me about what they had accomplished. And then a few months later, they said, "Sir, we need to bring you back in." They actually reached out to me and said, "We would like for you to come back in and we want to brief you, because things have changed." So they brought me in and they told me about the event that happened in the Western United States. People from Tulsi's team were actually on site for this. It was at one of our U.S. military installations. There was people from the intelligence community there, senior intelligence officials. They actually personally encountered these UAP.
Whoa!
And they gave me that in a briefing. I think I was the first elected official to get that briefing. And so they said, "Sir, we're pretty much approached this topic the same way that you have, very skeptical. And, but we feel like we have a job to go out and investigate this." And this event has completely changed everything because now we know that there is something there. We just don't know what it is. And you can read about it in the recent releases. It's kind of buried at the end.
Oh, interesting.
Ironically,
so what if we can talk about it now?
Yeah, so I can talk about it now. For the longest time, I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah,
but it's in that release. It describes from their perspective the intelligence people that were there, and there's two different reports. I can't say which specific. Okay,
so that wasn't released.
I think they don't want to have another Area 51 where they have people like storming the location, but it was. At the end of the day, what they have released is that pretty much what the narrative that they told me that they were out there. They were there because there had been previous reports. So they were just like, they were on site. They were going around looking at any kind of debris that they saw or anything that was out in the desert. And they had landed a helicopter and they got a call that the radar had picked up several UAPs. So they jump in the helicopter, they go to the location, and what they interact with are basically glowing orbs. Those orbs that have been described, whether they're called plasmoids, whatever you want to call them, they're like 3 meters in diameter, sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger, and they have different shades of color that they glow in, but they are some type of spherical, nebulous, what's described as like a ball of plasma. One would think a ball of plasma would look like. I don't think anybody's ever touched one to know that it's like superheated material or anything, but it definitely was messing with the helicopter when it got there. They operated intelligently, and then at one point there were some F-16s that were scrambled. These things appeared to like shoot up and chase or follow the F-16s. So when you're here, imagine you're me, you're sitting in the office of the director of national intelligence in a skiff, and they're briefing you with firsthand, accounts from people that were there. And they said, sir, this has brought this investigation from being priority number 500 and something to top 10 priorities for this government to figure out what's going on.
So immediately where my mind jumps to here is, so she's invited to the military base, wherever this U.S. military installation is that they can't disclose. She's invited there to specifically investigate UFOs. While they're there, it just so happens to be that 3 glowing orbs show up on radar, and they're allowed to go investigate, witness it, have this whole experience. They were 100% putting on a show for her. That was probably us, our own technology, and then sending our own public military aircraft after it, put on a show, and it generates all this buzz. Now he's briefed on it. It's shared with him in a skiff, so it's real serious. He gets to go on Jesse Michaels, who's the most propped up podcaster right now, and share this, create this buzz. It's all part of this narrative. But really, it's not anything new. We're just talking about glowing orbs again. It's not substantial, but it is substantial in the fact that it's getting all this attention now. But they were clearly, in my opinion, putting on a show for her. What do you think, Aaron?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I mean, whether it was our own technology or beings
working with us,
or in some capacity, it was clearly they knew what they were going to encounter, and it was done on purpose for sure.
Right.
And it's no accident that he ends up on Jesse Michaels and is disclosing like this is all very intentional. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very staged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, and there's only 4 slides left. Have a little fun with these last ones. So
I would say
this is Erling Haaland, who is Norway's star player in the World Cup, soccer player. And everyone's saying that he looks like a Nordic, like an ET. And he really does. And he even has like weird features, and he moves differently. And he's a really good soccer player. Like, it would be funny to me that if they allowed like an ET hybrid to actually play in a team, like, come on, just let me play. But this is an old drawing of Nordic aliens from an experiencer, and people are saying it looks exactly like him.
It does look exactly like him.
But I'm going to have to call BS on this, just because if you analyze the photo and look at the clarity of the other 2 faces, and then the clarity of the face that looks like him, it looks like this was polished or with AI.
Oh, bummer.
It's not, his face is like crystal clear and perfectly defined. And I have it shown bigger here, just so it's even more obvious here.
Yeah, you're right.
Nevertheless, that doesn't mean that there couldn't be something here. But I saw this going around, and I just wanted to say, man, I don't think this is authentic. It looks like his face has been touched up here. And
unless somebody was doing that just to make a point of, look how much like a Nordic ET he looks like, because, Right.
But, we need to find the original photo. See if
right. It's very possible somebody made it in that context and shared it just to make that point. And then, as we know with the internet, things get picked up and shared around out of context and with other narratives slapped onto them, and then people end up thinking, oh, this is a real thing. It's like, no.
Actually, I'm uploading it to TinEye reverse image search right now. We're going to do a real time. Oh, yep, I found it. Here's the original one.
Found it?
Yep, well, I'm going to have to share this. Hang on. Okay, I'll just screenshot this. It would be the quickest way to do it. Okay. Let me do this, and I'll airdrop it to my phone or to the computer. Yeah, it's a totally different face. They just, it confirmed what I thought, but it proves how things can get so easily shared without vetting them, you may never. Um,
Yeah,
finish
but
it.
what do we see happen? Most people just share it without vetting it, and
Right.
that's it. They spend about 5 seconds or less thinking about it. And
Right.
so, the internet's a powerful tool, but it's a very misused one
You
as
see?
well.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
So
So that's
that's
the original.
that's
Oh
the,
my gosh, yeah, it looks
yeah.
nothing
That somebody
like.
totally just took his face and put it over that
Yeah.
picture.
This is why you
Uh,
research everything, guys. This is why you
right.
research everything before sharing it.
Yeah. Very interesting though. So
Very interesting, though. Yeah.
definitely is not him.
Nope.
Definitely not him.
But he does look like he does look like a Nordic ET
Right.
still, or hybrid or something, and seem like it.
Got a little bit of freezing going on here. Not sure what's happening. This
Oh,
just
what's going on?
froze. I can't even. I'm gonna have to stop the screen share for a second. And interesting. My entire screen went black. Like there's. Oh, there it goes. It just came back.
Oh,
Okay.
weird.
Sorry about that, guys. Now let me get this back. We'll share the screen again here. Please hold. Share. Okay. Glitched out for a second. All right, we're back. Okay, so that's that. And then it's still not letting me change slides. That's interesting. Okay. These guys again. And the only reason I'm bringing them up again, the P-47 and P-52s, is because I'm very interested to know what the theories are. Like we come up with our own theories and talk about stuff on this show all the time, but I feel like sometimes we could even be in a bubble, and I want to know what like the other UFO community is talking about and the theories they're coming up with. So this guy has a very interesting theory about the P-47s and P-52s, and he'll explain what they are if you don't know. We've gone over them in a past episode recently, but I'll go ahead and play this, and then we'll discuss it after.
Before Amy Eskridge died, she mentioned P-47s and P-52s in her last interview.
Have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future.
P-47s are humans from the year 47,000 and P-52s are from the year 52,000. Dan Burish, who worked at Area S4, aka Papoose Lake, claims one of the beings that survived the Roswell crash was a P-52.
Mine's on Rainbit.
Gotta throw the ad in there.
And when I say Papoose Lake, a lot of people believe that S4 is beneath that. Now, both of these are humans that stayed underground on Earth to survive the post-apocalyptic environment stemming from a cataclysm. Now, there is a difference between the two. The P-47s decided to stay on Earth for tens of thousands of years, while the P-52s decided to leave Earth and head towards the Zeta Reticuli system. This is the same system from the infamous alien abduction, the Barney and Betty story, where they claimed that aliens telepathically told them that's where they came from. Also, Bob Lazar mentions he was briefed that these crafts he was working on were from the Zeta Reticuli system, so that's where a lot of these stories converge. Now here's where it gets crazy. The P-47s are rogue. They don't want us to prevent or fight through any future cataclysm, which would alter their timeline. The P-52s are more spiritually evolved and are willing to sacrifice their timeline if we came up with solutions to overcome future cataclysms. So what's going on right now is a timeline war. The 11 plus missing scientists are not just physicists working on free energy. They are biologists, virologists, climatologists, material scientists, agricultural scientists, etc. So all different types of scientists have gone missing. And the reason is the rogue J-rods known as the P-47s are eliminating researchers who could alter cataclysm outcomes and affect their P-47 timeline. So essentially, the P-47s want the catastrophe to occur, as it was foundational to their own evolutionary development. They oppose disclosure and send Men in Black agents to suppress interfering developments. Now, the rumor is they are connected to the Illuminati elite bloodlines, who are reportedly building underground arcs whose survivors over millennia who would end up becoming the rogue P-47s. So it makes sense this was the group who never wanted to leave Earth. Amy Eskridge in an email stated, UFO community is focused on the wrong thing. She said the loudest focus around the UAP topic is currently directed towards the technology of the observed craft, but that's missing the point. If they are here at all, it is surely for some very good reason that has nothing to do with their propulsion tech. I hope this gives you an answer on why all these scientists are dying.
Very interesting, very detailed, in fact. And all I can say is we don't know what we don't know, and I can't claim that I know this is true or not. I think it's definitely a potential. I think something like this could be happening, and I don't think he's wrong about the timeline war. And maybe that's what this looks like. Maybe there is some real truth to this. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Aaron?
Yeah. I mean, this was from Dan Burish's testimony, right?
Right.
Yeah, it could be. I still think because the problem with saying the grays is that I think there's way more than one gray, right? I think there's like, well, I think in the universe there's probably many thousand, or in the galaxy, many thousands that have that gray type of look. But even ones that we've interacted with here, there seems to be many different types of beings, and I think maybe these are us from the future. Maybe that's possible, but then I think there's others that are not that as well, right?
Right.
And so when you hear this argument, so we hear this all the time, right, in the UFO community is like, oh, grays are us from the future. No, no, grays aren't us from the future. That's BS. They're just other beings from Zeta Reticuli or elsewhere. Well, what if it's both, right? What if some are and some aren't? What if it's both?
I think likely that's the case.
I think that's very likely the case.
It's very plausible if you actually break it down, and like, why couldn't that be the case for a very specific group like these?
Right, right, exactly. And that there's one group that even the same, I think it's supposed to be like the same beings, right? Just from different time periods.
Yeah.
And one is more spiritually evolved and has a different agenda than the other group. They have two different agendas, the same beings from two different time periods, even. It's very
Right.
fascinating.
Yeah, and then there's that one girl that we showed the comparison on the previous episode who looks almost identical. Like, she really does share a lot of similar features.
Yeah.
So that could also, I mean, maybe she carries some of those genetics.
Yeah, she totally looks like a hybrid to me,
Right.
for sure, for sure.
And then just for fun here, last slide. Top scientists and military personnel were given a secret workbook from 1977 by the CIA containing instructions on how people could access extra strength and speed with the power of their minds. So these are the types of things that are surfacing. Daily Mail is covering this again, the CIA workbook, claiming a 5-step exercise that can supercharge the human body. And these are very simple practices that I think everyone can do, but we're just not taught how to do it, and we're not programmed to do it. It's not part of our daily practice. So a very small percentage of people are actually applying this and trying to, I guess you could even say, upgrade yourself, enhance yourself, right? And it's fascinating to me that all this is coming out, and not only is it just coming out verbally, there's documents that support it. And there is a portal in the United States, a highly guarded facility that is used under the U.S. Forest Service cover. And there are witnesses who have seen people of the U.S. military walking into literally a wall. Ross Coulthart speaks on the alleged portals around Secret Mountain, Sedona. So there's not video here, but this brings up an important topic, the Sedona fires. Here in Sedona, we had a pocket fire that allegedly is the worst one in years. Luckily, it didn't stay contained like they wanted to contain it. I think like tens of thousands of acres burned, but I don't know if there were any injuries. It didn't make its way into any towns, rural areas, any establishments like that. So in that regard, I think people were safe, but it was a massive fire, and it took them weeks of battle to fight. And why I bring the fire up is because it's specifically in the Secret Mountain area. And Ross Coulthart goes on this interview, talks about the people walking through, military personnel walking through walls in Secret Canyon, craft coming out of the mountain, witnessing black helicopters, being approached by military men, talking about Bradshaw Ranch being a portal, and specifically like naming the precise location of the portal. That's catching millions of views. And then there's another YouTube video talking about a secret military base that had millions of views, and all pointing towards the Secret Canyon area. Just as Sedona and Secret Canyon is getting global attention, this fire breaks out and they shut down all of the trails in the surrounding area. So no tourists, no local, nobody can even go explore this to prove these claims one way or the other. And the trails are still closed. That, in my opinion, nobody knows the cause of fire. In fact, the only official explanation we've heard was that there was a lightning strike, but people that lived nearby the day of the fire, there was no storm, no lightning. It hardly rains here. Anyway, it's just a cover story. And I talked to one man, he said, absolutely, there was no lightning that day. And because it started not far from his house. So he firmly believed it was a cover story. The real cause of the fire remains unknown. Did they light it intentionally to shut down the trails and keep people away because it started getting global attention online? Possibly. Just a theory. We can only speculate.
But I would say highly likely.
Right. Right. And that's the end of the slideshow today, guys.
Yay.
Let me stop the share here. Bring us back on the big screen. All right. Yeah, so I think that's it. We're not going to spend too much time on here. We already did another interview today, so I've been in front of the computer for quite some time today. I'm ready to hang it up and eat some dinner and relax a little bit. But nevertheless, we're in interesting times. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please like, subscribe, share. More than anything, if you could just share this out, that would mean a lot to us. We need all the support we can get right now because it's hard to stay afloat and stay relevant during these times when everybody is covering this stuff now. And, we've been doing this for quite some time and we can never have done it without you guys in the first place. So we could always use and appreciate your continued support. So,
yes. When we started this show, there was not this many shows and people out there talking about this stuff. I mean, there was a good amount, but I mean, it's just multiplied so much since 2019. Now it's just like, it feels like we're just in this massive sea of other people all talking about the same stuff now. So it's hard to, like Tyler said, stay relevant and everything gets spread super thin because of that. There's just too many shows. There's too many podcasts and YouTube channels and, everything going on all at the same time. So it's just really hard to stick out or to everyone's got their attention spread so thin. So thank you. So we truly appreciate you guys for supporting us and watching and being here. We're very grateful and do not take that for granted. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We truly appreciate that. And Aaron, I know we didn't discuss this yet. We're getting ready to leave for Shasta, so we won't be able to do a tier 2 Patreon unless we do it this Sunday. I don't know how you feel about that. It would stress my schedule a little bit too. So maybe we just take a month off for the tier 2 people. Who knows? Maybe we go live from Shasta for a minute. I don't know. I don't want to.
We'll try to do something to make up for that for you tier 2 peeps.
Right.
We'll do something.
And if you have not seen our Secret Space Program documentary yet, you can watch that on our Patreon for only $9.99. The best way to access that is through our website, which I just revamped the other day. So go check it out. It is journeytotruth.online. That link is below. And also, we just solidified dates for next year's conference. And it's not until next September. So we're over a year away. We're going fall instead of spring this time, give ourselves a little break because we've hosted 5 conferences in a row at the same time every year. And it just gets exhausting putting them on and selling tickets and doing the whole thing. So we just want to give ourselves an extended break in between events this time. So stay tuned. September 2027 in Joshua Tree, California. We just locked in the dates, September 16th through the 20th. No details yet. No details at all yet. We're just barely getting this thing off the ground. So this is a very early and potentially premature announcement, but we got the dates locked in, so that's good. And we got
just to have it on your radar. It's coming. We're planning it, and it's coming, and we're excited about it. But yeah, just have it on your radar. Just be on the lookout, and I don't know, maybe I don't know.
We'll keep you updated.
We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, so thank you guys for being here. Go check out the website, journeytotruth.online, see what we have going on over there. I'm going to work on sending a mass email out before we leave for Shasta, just with all the stuff we have going on. So subscribe to the email newsletter if you want to stay up to date on that. And we'll see you guys in Shasta, whoever's coming to Mount Shasta for this conference. We'll see you out there. And if you're interested in purchasing tickets, awakewithinthedreamproductions.com. That link is below in the description as well. So grab a ticket, come hang out with us. And thank you guys for being here. We love you. We can't do this without you. Until next time, have a great evening. Good night.
Love you guys. Good night.